The opening of the movie begins with an opening monologue from Sarah Connor. It is the year 2029, Earth has become a dystopian wasteland ravaged by the war between machines, led by the evil artificial intelligence Skynet, and the human resistance led by John Connor. This sets the tone of the movie, giving it that dark and gritty feel of impending doom. It's revealed that Skynet has twice attempted to take out Connor. First by sending a Terminator to the year 1984 to take out Sarah before John was born. The second to take out John himself when he was just a young boy in the year 1995, sending a powerful liquid metal cyborg known as the T-1000. Also on this second time around, the Resistance has sent a Terminator of their own to protect John, a reprogrammed T-800. Now, in a complete role reversal from the first Terminator movie, the good Terminator arrives first. Arriving completely naked, the Terminator goes into a bar searching for a match for clothes. He finds one, but not before getting laughed at, and then going into fight mode and taking out all the biker guys before acquiring his target, and finishing off the scene complete with a leather jacket, a shotgun, a pair of glasses, and a motorbike. Shortly following this, the other Terminator arrives, and an unfortunate police officer is his first victim, eliminating him and taking his uniform and squad car before initiating his search for John Connor. Sarah Connor's first scene is her at a psychiatric ward. It has been revealed that she tried to blow up the factory that made Skynet, as it was prophesied that on August 29, 1997, Skynet will become self-aware, and in response to its creators' attempts to deactivate it, incite a nuclear holocaust, which would lead to the event known as Judgement Day. Sarah was shot and arrested and committed to Pescadero State Hospital. She is interrogated by Dr. Silverman and later beaten up by the guards, with one of them in particular displaying very creepy and offensive tendencies. She had repeatedly tried to escape the ward, but with no success. Sarah has a dream sequence. This is in the extended version of the movie, in which Kyle Reese appears and warns her to protect their son as he is in grave danger. As a result of Sarah's incarceration, John Connor now lives with his foster parents Todd and Janelle. John resents Sarah for attempting to prepare him for his future role and considers her a complete basket case. Both Terminators have approached the foster parents looking for John, with Todd unknowingly revealing to the T-1000 that the T-800 had approached first. John had gone to the mall with his friend Tim to play some video games. The scene comes to a head when the T-1000 has spotted John and goes after him. John looks to escape, but runs into the T-800, setting up a first-time meeting between the two Terminators. The T-800 springs into action and engages in battle with the T-1000, with a gunfight followed by a one-on-one brawl which sees the T-1000 get the upper hand. John escapes onto his motorcycle with the T-1000 in hot pursuit. The T-800 recovers and sets off to rescue John. He succeeds in his rescue and he temporarily puts the T-1000 on the back foot by shooting at the truck, which then crashes and explodes, and this temporarily slows down the T-1000. John attempts to warn Todd and Janelle about the T-1000, but the T-800, after engaging in a phone conversation with Janelle, has deduced that the foster parents have been taken out by the T-1000, who was posing as Janelle. John then looks to save his mom Sarah after the T-800 informs him that she will be the next target for the T-1000. After a little shouting match which sees the Terminator almost take out two passers-by, John sees that the Terminator has orders to obey, and John commands him and orders him to help him go save his mom. Back at the ward, Sarah has hatched her latest attempt to escape and has taken out one of the guards, and then holds up Dr. Silverman and uses him for leverage. She is ultimately thwarted by the guards and tries to desperately escape. After her latest attempt nearly fails, she stumbles across her nemesis the Terminator, to great shock and horror. Her luck changes as she is then saved by the Terminator from the prison guards and then reunited with young John. But unfortunately, it is a short-lived reunion as she becomes acquainted with the T-1000. In a thrilling action sequence, both the Terminator and Sarah blast away the T-1000 whilst protecting John. The T-1000 is thwarted again by the T-800 and goes back into a retreat and thinks up a new strategy to complete his objective. Now, although Sarah is very distrustful of the T-800, she almost takes him out but is prevented by John. Sarah then uses the T-800's knowledge of the future to learn about the revolutionary microprocessor which is being developed by a Cyberdyne engineer named Miles Dyson, and he will be crucial to the creation of Skynet. The trio head to Mexico where Sarah meets with her friend Enrique. Here they reload with all manner of brand new weapons. Sarah ends up having a hellish nightmare in which Judgment Day happens, and she takes it upon herself to go and kill Dyson, as it could prevent Judgment Day from happening. She arrives at Dyson's house and shoots several rounds of bullets, wounding Dyson, but she stops short of eliminating him when she sees that he has a family. The T-800 and John reach the house and reveal the whole story of the Terminator and Judgment Day, and his own personal involvement. Dyson agrees to go to Cyberdyne to destroy all evidence of his work and prevent Judgment Day from happening. Whilst at Cyberdyne, the police have been alerted of the group's actions and storm the building, with the Terminator fighting them off but keeping his orders to John not to kill any of the officers. In the chaos, Dyson is caught in the crossfire and is shot. He has in his possession the detonator to activate the bombs, which then goes off and destroys the building in the process. The T-1000 has re-emerged and goes after the trio. After commandeering a helicopter, this leads to the rollercoaster final 40 minutes of intense action and drama. The final showdown at the chemical plant triggers a variety of emotions, from anxiety of wanting the trio to escape, the suspense and the trepidation of watching the T-1000 reform and stalking them after he's initially shot to pieces after he was frozen. The horror of watching the T-1000 completely decimate the Terminator in a one-on-one battle, ending with that very wrenching pull through the body of the Terminator which appeared to have ended him. Then there's the feelings of hope when the Terminator reactivates after finding an alternate power source. The fear of watching the T-1000 nearly tricked John by disguising himself as Sarah, before the real Sarah emerges, and the feelings of willing Sarah on against the T-1000 as she nearly blasts him into the vat of molten fire, almost bagging herself another Terminator kill. This time, she just fell short. The feeling of defeat as the T-1000 has Sarah and John cornered, and then the triumph of watching the Terminator re-emerge and shoot the T-1000 square in the middle before it explodes and falls into the molten fire, and then the great satisfaction of watching the T-1000 flail around in the fire, screaming in agony, replicating all those he had copied before melting away into nothing. Then there's the sadness and the tragedy of the Terminator dying. The Terminator had completed his mission of protecting John and preventing Judgment Day. All semblances of the first Terminator and himself had to be destroyed to prevent a repeat of Judgment Day, and as he could not self-terminate, it fell on Sarah having to pull the trigger and getting him lowered into the vat of fire. John says a tearful goodbye, and Sarah thanked the Terminator for his heroics. And then the Terminator met his fate and was lowered into the fire in a very sad ending, with him giving John the thumbs up just before he's terminated. Now, there were two different endings to the movie. In the original theatrical release, Sarah had a final monologue. As Sarah drives down the highway with John, she reflects on her renewed hope for an unknown future, saying that if a machine, a Terminator, could learn the value of human life, so could humanity. And then there was the DVD extended version's ending, where Sarah is now an old woman and her monologue is slightly different. John Connor, the man seen at the beginning of the movie, is all grown up, playing with his daughter, and fights his battles as a member of the US Congress. The dark future that was supposed to have happened never did occur, with Sarah again saying that if a Terminator could learn the value of human life, so could humanity. And the movie comes to an end.